Hi, this is John, and I really want to share with you these words from Adrienne Elise, an intuitive astrologer who I hugely respect, and I'm loving what she's saying here for this new moon in Pisces 2024.
We have to heal the trauma completely, like pull that whole program out.
She presents her understanding based on the current astrology around these celestial events.
Hello and welcome to the Pisces new moon activation. I'm Adrienne Elise. Wonderful to be here with you today. What intense and powerful energies. It's always so wonderful to come together in our supernova tribe.
And wow, is she so often so accurate. She often refers to supernova souls, and supernova soul tribe is the people she's talking to. So it's her belief and mine that if you're hearing her words, you are part of the supernova soul tribe, called to be vibrating at a higher version of reality.
The Pisces energy is so profound, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about what is...
Yes, so her work is grounded in the celestial movements, which she understands and interprets for us in simple, easy to understand terms. It's not worth getting hung up too much on the different things she references, because she explains it really well.
And this is a really important energy around the Pisces new moon. The Pisces energy is... Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and it represents the primordial energy, the soup of all creation, like the possibilities.
I'll just let you hear her and what she says now, but I just really think this is worth hearing. This is an amazing wake-up call for us all.
But also there's this trauma-drama narrative from the Piscean age that we know we have to totally drop it, and this is the energy of today, right? It's like, are you ready to completely turn the corner on the trauma-drama narratives and get out of the story that they've been creating for us, right? Because Pisces is creative power, it's spiritual energy, it's spiritual connection. And so the control forces in the Piscean age used that spiritual connection energy to control us. And how did they do that? They went against those of the light. And so the whole age was against you. And not something you did even, but just you and the truth of your existence. The way that this control happened and these trauma-drama narratives took hold was through part of the collective. The energy of Pisces is the collective consciousness, our connection on this other level. And so using that connection to control people through groupthink and programming. And the programming was all against you as the light. And so what's coming up is some deep, really repressed grief around the Piscean age of where we have been scapegoated again and again as supernova souls. And where people, and the picture is that, so we've had these experiences. In order to stomp down the light, to manipulate the people, they had to go against the light. And in order to stay alive, to survive, people had to go along with that. And it's so interesting how this is replayed over the last couple of years in our situation in the world, having to go along. It's like, well, I had no choice. I had to go along with the program. And we're going to find some major ramifications on a soul spiritual level for going along with the program. And at some point, we know if we're going to move into our Aquarian age, we must have justice.
Yeah, me again, just quickly and for the last time. The big theme here is that we are at the end of the Piscean age, and this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
The light must rise again. Now, but let's just unpack this a little bit, because this is so incredibly crucial and important for the work that the opportunity we have today to turn the corner on the trauma-drama narratives, and kind of we've had to succeed. So just like the people who couldn't stand up for us when we were being persecuted, they had to watch it, but they couldn't do anything about it, or could they? Because in their soul, they're carrying this. Except for that we're carrying it for them because we're bigger and better, and we just don't want anybody to hurt and be in pain. So all of the pain, this is what's coming forward, and just open up to this possibility. It might not be completely true for you, but the message is that perhaps, supernova soul, all of the pain you've been carrying and trying to work through isn't your pain. It's the pain of those who did what they did to you and didn't stop what was happening to you. Now, we've come across this dynamic, and it seems to be a pattern where supernova souls will incarnate with, we've chosen for some reason or whatever, I don't know, but why would we choose this, right? But to be surrounded by this type of karmic situation. And we have been carrying the pain and the shame of those around us. So many times in past life pictures, I've seen supernova souls incarnated into a family where that family was the ones that turned against you in the past, those family members. And so we have to understand this dynamic. We are very sensitive souls, and we feel overwhelmed by their pain of what they did to us. And we may have taken it on as our own pain and shame. Because think about it. Think about how shameful it would feel to have to stand by and watch an innocent angel of light be persecuted and not be able to do anything about it, because you'd just be killed too. And this is kind of one of the threshold places in our evolution. And this is why we're in such a difficult place karmically, supernova souls. If you've been struggling with this South Node Libra activation that's been going on, this seems to be what it's about, where the people in your life, the karmic relationships, family members, siblings, co-workers, friends throughout your life in this incarnation may have been this dynamic. We have to kind of understand, we've been getting hints around this, but it seems to be becoming more and more clear. So just say in this scenario that we are these big ascensive souls and we're like, oh, I don't want them to have to carry the pain of what they did to me, and I'm going to carry it for them. And then in order to, so they're in a fragilely compensated spot, because think about their situation. They have to incarnate, say they're a parent. They have to be a parent or a sibling or a friend of someone that they really hurt or weren't able to protect in a past life. It's painful, right? But we've been carrying it for them. Because, and then we get to this very strange place that we've been recognizing that we're trying to carry their pain for them, for what they did to us. And we have to understand the fragile psyche of what we're dealing with here, and kind of forgive ourselves for why we've taken on this pain. Because you could just see the scenario that as long as you're a bad person in their mind, there's something wrong with you. Black sheep of the family, right? Like, so because we've been carrying the pain, and because we had to go through these abusive situations in past lives because of just being punished for being a light, we have taken on this shame, and so we always show up as the broken ones, you know, but it's their pain and their deed that was done to us. But see, in this situation with your family, you can understand that as long as you're the bad person, they never ever have to look at their shit. They never ever have to face what they've done to you. As long as you're the broken, beaten down, black sheep, what's wrong with you, you're crazy. When we've taken on this identity and the shame and the pain of what's been done to us, the pain of the person who did it or couldn't stop it, and the shame of this act, unload and stop carrying the pain of our oppressors, it's game over for them. Because this is exactly the trauma-drama loop that keeps us in complicit in their reality they're creating for us. We are a prisoner in their reality. So in order for justice to come to the earth and for us to move forward, we have to face where the light has been treated in this way. And so what the process we're in right now is this, we know that nothing can stop our illumination, like coming into our true power. But do you see that coming into your true power is going to make the people who hurt you have to face their shit? And they're going to feel bad that they did not take advantage of an angel like you in their life. In fact, they turned against you with everyone else because they had no other choice. So we have been the ones agreeing to this trap, to this trauma drama trap. And this is the Piscean energy that's coming forward, because we have this beautiful opportunity to dream a new dream of Earth, but not without justice. And we think of justice as the criminals, the crooks, the horrible corruption that we've had to have in our face year after year, and like that, we definitely need justice. We're not going to go on and just ignore the atrocities. But that means that you show yourself in your exalted light. You claim it back as a spiritual light of the world, except for that, have we not been able to do this because we can't handle the pain of what it would cause for those around us to have to face their shit? Except for that, they can never grow without it. And this is where this Aries energy is coming in really handy for us right now, to be like, mine, I own it. I'm in charge of the spiritual energy. And is it time to eliminate and release and no longer allow the forces of destruction and pain and trauma and drama to live rent-free in your head? To those energies that hurt you, to continue to keep you in pain and trauma and drama, because you feel so bad for them having to face their karma. And so this seems so huge, because it's like what's keeping us from full permission to move into our co-creation, into our light, into our trueness, because there's no way for us to move into our light and for those souls that hurt us to not have to face their shit. Do you see? And so we've been carrying it for them, not even knowing, right? So this is subconscious, because it's kind of like, I wouldn't do that. And it's like, yeah, but subconsciously. And the shame. Now we understand the shame that's been programmed into the supernova soul. The shame of your oppressors. And we just can't bear the thought of them having to receive that treatment back. We know that we're rewriting the story. We're claiming back our divine timeline and our permission to live in accordance with our laws and rules as autonomous beings, not their laws and rules for us anymore. And their laws and rules are all about keeping us feeling rejected, betrayed, and persecuted. These are the loops that keep us in their story. And are you done? Are you ready to be completely done with their story that they made for you? And start living your story and co-creating your story? It requires you coming into your full power and your full light. And it requires that you're okay with shining that light. You've dimmed it down because you shining your light showed all the scary monsters and the people around you, because you've been surrounded by people who are not people, who have karmic agendas to keep you from who you are. And then we're feeling sorry for them and inviting them into our head. What if all your pain, all your problems are actually not your problems at all? Blaming ourselves. That set up a situation where we kept blaming ourselves for being persecuted. Like, we're what's wrong with the world because we're not coming into our light. We're not saving it. We're not helping people. The Piscean age has been this big distortion of using this creative consciousness and collective consciousness to turn against the light and call the light bad and let the dark flourish in the name of the light and false religious structures. And so when we're looking at this, we're looking at an authoritarian contract that I think might come up today around this situation. So if we are conceding to their reality because we don't want the people around us to suffer anymore, see, we have to understand the trauma-based programming, how it works, is that they traumatize you until you choose the behavior that they want you to choose. And if you do not continue to choose that behavior and do what they want you to do, they punish you. So then you will do anything to not be triggered in the trauma, and you'll go along with the program. And this is what humanity has done and choosing religious authority to stay alive over true light and spirit. And it must be reconciled. There must be justice. And the justice comes when you turn your light on and you show them who you really are. And they're like, oh, is this what happened to you as a child? You came in with your spiritual light and the people around you were like, don't show that because it makes me look bad. Because I'm not as bright as you and I hurt you. And I just have to look at my shame, so turn it down. And we said, okay, I'll go along with your narrative that says turn my light down again and again and again. And we are no longer beholden. So we have to take that person, that issue, that all that pain and that programming and remove it off our board, our playing board, right? Our creation, like no more, not my problem. And so just know that these souls are a very different place than you. They have their own connection to source. They have their own means. They have lots of time to face their karma and deal with it. And it's not your problem. And this is just a really hard one. But anyway, that was a long, involved discussion to try to describe this one concept. But I just feel like it's so important today. And where have we agreed to this authority where we've conceded to the trauma drama, right? Like to feel less trauma, we're going to go along with the trauma drama because we're stuck in that trauma programming. And now at this time that we're at, it's like we're going to heal it. Because Mercury and Neptune are in exact conjunction on our reality and be like, we're co-creators and we're not going along with your dictates, where your greatest fears and where you have to face the mirror. And it's like being stuck in 4D, never being able to make it to 5D. So all of this has the energy of gatekeeper, higher dimensional beings from where we are now, but that are lower dimensional from where we came from, saying whether or not we get to enjoy what's rightfully ours in the higher dimensional energies and connections. And they have no right and no authority over us. The only authority they have is what we've given to them. And so now we take it back. And because we've been bullied, when you're being bullied and forced and manipulated, that's telling you that the force doesn't have any power. And this big energy we got where it's like all this programmed fear around coming into our potential and our kundalini, and we've already done this in past lives and it's no big deal. We know exactly what we're doing on some level, but they want us totally scared, right? And stuck at that threshold place. And it turns out that the fear that we feel is their projected field, just fear. Just like the shame we're feeling that we haven't been able to figure out for so long is their shame at what they've done to us. And we're holding it for them because they can't even handle it. It is all the fear programming, their fear, because that's really the deal. They're scared of our light and power. We're not scared of our light and power. Because if we come into our light and power, they don't get to exist in our realm anymore. They don't get to feed on us. They don't get to be here. They don't get to play their lower games. And there's going to be justice. So they're scared. They won't be able to walk the street. This is the next phase that's coming, exposure. And so it's so powerful because can we just move into this beautiful dream of coming into our higher faculties on our own pace as we're ready, but coming into our light and not giving one iota crap what it means to anybody else, but just for us, not to save the world, not to prove ourselves to anybody, not to say, see, I was the light and you were the dark, even though you told me the opposite. Nothing, none of that. It's just our light wanting to be expressed, and we feel at peace finally. We feel like, oh, I'm here doing what I'm here to do. And they can just deal with it.
So to hear more of Adrienne Elise and the whole of this recording, you can go to adrienneelise.com, or you can also subscribe to her YouTube channel, which is also fantastic and full of absolutely wonderful revelations. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have and feel enthused by this wonderful news, and I wish you all the best with turning on your light. Thank you for listening.